Welcome to the Bellevue School District Board of Directors special meeting today on December 22nd, 2020. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, we have to conduct this meeting as a virtual remote meeting and are doing so. We'll begin the meeting with roll call. I'm Francine Wiest.
Carolyn Watson.
Christine Chu. Erica Malise.
And Ivan Duran.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining us. The agenda today is a few updates and then addressing the calendar. I see the items are reversed, but I'm going to motion that we do updates first and then the calendar. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Are there any changes to the agenda? All right. No changes to the agenda. Hearing none, the agenda is approved. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Duran, to begin us with some updates.
Great, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Everyone's doing well. So just do a few updates, all related to our in-person announcement that we made and try to give more information for everyone regarding communication. And so first, board members, we've had a number of emails that have come in either to the superintendent's box or the board's email. So we have put a process in place that will be in place not only now, but ongoing to respond quickly and accurately to inquiries coming directly to the superintendent and the board mailboxes. Inquiries receive an immediate auto-generated response acknowledging their email. So that's one of the first things that happens so that people know that email was received and that's being routed to whoever's going to be doing the response. And then a personalized email will be sent with an answer to the specific question. Cut and paste from previously FAQs or other information, whatever we need to do, and then possibly even a link to FAQs if there's questions related to reopening. And so we will make sure we get that to people that send us emails as quickly as possible. The FAQs are being prepared now, and I'll talk a bit more about that, and they'll be updated daily in some cases as new information is available. So we do have a reopening FAQ that we've started, and there's both the family-facing and staff-facing FAQs. They are currently in development. There was a meeting this morning to go through them again and to get more information in there. We'll be finalizing them over the next couple of days. The family-facing FAQs will go live on the BSD website as soon as we have some of that completed. And then staff FAQs will be live on the staff portal. And again, so all of them will be updated regularly and in some cases daily based on what we're learning and hearing from questions that are coming in. Well, I just want to hit on the next wave of communication. So we currently are working on a communication for K-2 staff message from UNME with appreciation, health, and more safety information. It was one of the things we heard from some educators that they wanted to hear more about the risk mitigation strategies that have been in place and what are we seeing in our current schools that are open and serving students. And then we also are building out for our school leaders communications tool kit, which includes principal handbook, building reopening checklist, family guide, and educator handbook. When we return from break on January 4th or 5th, we will have a message going out to all staff with more information around plans, reopening, the FAQ links, educator handbook, and the family guide. And then we are working so that we have some more templates for our building leaders to utilize and as they're responding to staff in their building. And then also we'll plan on doing some welcome back email to our staffs. And then during that week, I will be out visiting schools and getting a whole schedule together to be putting that together. The last thing in that area is that we've seen in some other locations that have reopened some really unique signage that has been developed for the buildings, and so we are currently working on that, including welcome back banners and additional safety signage that will be installed prior to January 21st. And then final thing, a couple things I'll just say is that we have in issues anticipation, we recently completed a structured protocol to really identify potential issues with reopening. It was a really great process for our team to run through and to think about what are some possible situations that we could be, seeing and dealing with. And so we, identified some of the potential issues of reopening, instructional, operational, communications, and now our implementation teams are crafting mitigation plans to prepare as thoroughly as possible for the different scenarios that came up. And I do also want to say that we did, the board coordinator position is posted. As you all know, Jen Bateman, our board coordinator, is resigning from the district to move on to another position. And so we do have that position posted online. And so we will begin to look at, candidates after the break. So if anybody knows of anybody out there looking for a coordinator position, we are definitely looking. And finally, just say happy holidays to everyone. Hope everyone gets a little bit of time to have a little break and a little downtime with friends and family. And like me, a lot of cooking is on the agenda. Thank you.
Great, thank you for that update. Are there any questions, clarifying issues from any board members? All right, so I'll just make a couple of comments then. So just in terms of if they're with the communication and the inbox strategy, thanks for updating that. Please let me know if there's any specific ones. I'll be on the lookout if there are ones that are specifically to the board, but for the most part, what we're seeing coming in through to the board inbox are largely operational and for the district to address. So thank you for working on that, and it's good to hear that it sounds like some of these communications are going to happen over break, not just waiting to address them all after break. That's correct?
Correct. Okay,
thank you for that. And then just a question about communication. You talked about the family-facing communication. Have the families completed the K-2 families completed the surveys at this point, or are we waiting for additional completion after the break?
We are still waiting for some completion, but we are working to try to get that completed this week. And so it's good. We reviewed some of the data yesterday, and so we will be able to. I can give you some of that information, after this to give you the exact numbers. But in some situations, we have some of our schools that have 100% that have completed. In other cases, it's in the high 50s. And so we're working with our school teams. They had a plan in place to be able to reach out to everyone. So we are working to get that completed this week.
Okay.
Just a quick comment on that, if I can. Dr. Duran, I sent an email to John Harrison this morning because I only just completed mine this morning because I remembered it off the top of my head, but I realized in doing that I hadn't gotten a reminder email since last Wednesday. And so I don't know if there was an automated thing or what, but I suggested that a reminder email would probably be helpful because I had forgotten. And okay. So
thank you for that. I'll pass it on to the team and find out what they're.
Excellent. And then with regards, thank you for posting the board coordinator position. And I just wanted to, and I'm sure everyone shares this, but everyone can chime in as well. We really wish Jennifer Bateman the best. She will be with us a little while longer and is really working hard to set us up for success in terms of scheduling a lot of the meetings and putting into processes into place to ensure that there's a smooth functioning and transition period. So we really appreciate all that she's done over the years, as well as making sure that we can continue to be successful going forward. Other comments? Yes, Dr. Chu.
Oh yeah, I reiterate what you said about Jen. We're going to miss her a lot. She's been a real treasure for us to have, and greatly appreciate the work that she's been doing over these past several years. The other thing I wanted to mention is I had volunteered since the beginning of the school year, and I'd like to make it clear that I'm still extremely interested in visiting our buildings in person. I know that we had asked as we got things started to minimize the number of adults in the buildings, but I would like to make it very clear that I am very interested in supporting and being a part of any work we can do to help our community and our staff understand that we are actually committed and supportive of the work that we are doing to put safety protocols in place, and that we have high confidence in the staff and the science, and we are also there in solidarity with them as we work towards a steady but careful and measured reopening. So I just would like to say I'm very much interested in being a part of that.
All right, thank you, Dr. Chu, and we'll build out a schedule so that people just know where we're going. So we want to just make sure still we have, not too many people going to the buildings, but we can definitely have something included and have you involved in that. If any other board members are interested, please let me know.
Yeah, I'll echo that. I have high confidence in the risk mitigation protocols, and we had been abiding both by the general phase 2 requirements as well as our putting our policy into place to say we're limiting visitors all for the contact tracing and making sure that everyone would follow the protocols at our building. But I'm more than happy to visit, to see what's going on the ground, to assist in any way possible. And again, high confidence in those risk mitigation protocols, and looking forward to seeing more students being able to receive in-person services to support their learning and their well-being. Okay, any other comments from other board members? All right, so the primary purpose of this meeting was to address our calendar. So when we were doing the agenda planning, we really reviewed carefully, and our regular meetings are scheduled for the 1st and 3rd, usually Tuesdays of the month. However, that puts us right at January 5th, 19th, and then February 2nd for our next 3 meetings. And recognizing all of the changes that are going on, the enormous lift that the staff are doing on a number of issues, and one of the issues that we wanted to discuss next and get an overview and a common understanding for the board is this initiative that's going on with grading. And the next grading committee meeting will be on January 7th. So given that, plus we're opening the buildings all our second graders on January 21st, it seemed that if we could push our meetings to January 12th, 26th, and then February 9th, so shifting everything by 1 week, we would be able to get the latest information on grading for our study session on that. We'd be able to get an update on the return to schools, and then we would have one meeting that we only have one meeting in February, and that would push that to right before the break. And again, being able to get an update on the next wave of students. So that was the thought and rationale there. It seems like all board members can attend, but officially by our policy and procedures, we may need to make a motion and make that official in a meeting. And so that's the primary purpose of this meeting. Are there, I'm going to make that motion at this time. If we could take a second and then we can discuss. Okay, discussion, Dr. Chu.
Oh, I was going to make the motion, but you're set there. So I seconded it, and I want to thank you for the thought, and Dr. Duran for the thoughtful evaluation of what would make the most sense so that we can get the work done and make sense for the staff and support them as well. Thank you.
Okay, are there any other comments or questions regarding that? All right, are there any opposed to that motion? We'll shift the next 3 meetings by 1 week. Any opposed? All right, hearing none, the motion is approved. We will switch that. We will provide notification, updates in the calendar, so that's all clear to our community and internal communications as well. Are there any other comments, anything else to close us out for this meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to say something diplomatically, but there are a number of we statements made earlier when you guys were commenting. And I just want to say that I have real faith in our staff and in our earnest attempts at mitigation and earnest attempts at blocking the transmission. But I am the board member who's a little more concerned about the governor's guidelines and does not feel that the science on transmission is completely settled. So.
Okay, any other comments? Dr. Chu.
I just wanted to take this chance to thank everybody for the work that we've been doing to date. It's the end of a calendar year that is one of the most unbelievable we've had, and I think that our staff and our community partners, our community members, our families, our students themselves have all put themselves in through a lot of hard work, a lot of things that they've had to be flexible about, a lot of adjustments that they've had to make. And while we're always looking to grow and do better and do the best we can, everyone's efforts along the way have been appreciated. They are part of the journey that gets us to that better space. They are part of the work that we do together. And I want to acknowledge and appreciate each and every person, from like every parent who has supported their kid through this, every teacher who has adapted their schedule, worked with their families to make this happen, has adjusted their learning, their technology, the things that they teach, the leaders, the principals, the bus drivers, the nutrition services folks who, some of them we've had to put on layoff. Like, I am deeply appreciative to every single sacrifice that has been a part of our journey to getting our kids to where they are. And I just want to say thank you and wish everybody a peaceful and healthy new year.
Anyone else? All right, thank you all for those statements. I will also note that yes, this has been a tremendous time. Everyone is affected in some way or another. Some people are really, really suffering right now. It is tough. Things are constantly changing and evolving as well, and that requires a lot of grit. There's a lot of sacrifice that's going on. There's a lot of tremendous work. I know it's not always at the pace that everyone wants. For some, it's too fast. For some, it's too slow. And yet, at the same time, our district is doing tremendous work. And the idea is to support, each and every student, and to have the variety of options available to students and to support their well-being and their academics both. Is something that does require a lot in a district of this size, and the district is rising to meet those challenges. And so we're all, I think, all looking forward to 2021, to a new year, and we hope that it brings a lot of improvements for everyone. So thank you all for your hard work. I think that will conclude the statements unless anyone else wants one, and we'll let everyone get back to either the other work or the other downtime that that is on your calendars for the rest of the day and the rest of the break. So thank you all very much. And with that, we are adjourned.
Thank you all. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you all for coming in.